Hey, great. Wow. You clicked on part two. Thank you. Well, this is the part where I talk about or not, well, yeah, I talk and show some artifacts that the students made, some at the high level, medium level, and low level. This one is at the high level, and I'm going to show you this right now. Okay, so we're at exceeds grade level expectations. Let's just go over the rubric one more time. Student uses detailed descriptions and graphic organizers to accurately describe and compare the different regions of Alaska, including climates, landforms, and natural resources. So the big one here is to make sure that they have more than just people and geographical features. They talk about climate and some natural resources and add a pretty large cornucopia of wonderful facts or illustrations and pictures and stuff like that in their website. Now this one is for future use. I really only focused on Alaska regions due to time, but in later on, because at least in fourth grade, it's talking about the Alaskan cultural groups is extremely important thing to teach. So why not make a website for it? Okay, and then identify and locate geographic regions. Student identifies and locates major geographic regions and smaller natural landmarks, important rivers, mountains, and lakes. These are all taken from our performance standards for social studies. Okay, and let's see how this student did. Well, he has a home site that just pretty much talks about, in general, Alaska facts. He's got a wonderful picture of Alaska. This is my Alaska website. You will see facts and learn all about Alaska and all of its wonders. Great. Whoops. Sorry. Okay. Already he's using multimedia here. He's found a picture of and of a dog mushing team and added a little bit of his own information. Not his own information, but information he found using his resources. Some pictures here. I think one thing I instructed him to do for the next time is to add columns, so there's not all this white space in here. So we don't just say, hey, use technology. We want to make sure that they're using it at the highest standard possible. So this is, once again, this is a fluency issue, finding the right element and how to include it. But he's great, fantastic Alaskan pictures, and they all are relevant to Alaska. And then he's added some basic Alaska facts. State bird, state fish, state flower, state fossil. Excellent job. Nice, well-rounded page. Let's check out the interior. All right. Yeah, excellent. So he's added his subcategories. That's one thing I've asked him to do. He makes sure that they have to add something about people and geographic landforms on each page. He's even added animals and history, so he's gone a little bit above and beyond. This city was named after Charles Fairbanks. Well, yep, absolutely. Animals and features, and then geographical features down here. And then a very nice layout, too. So he took some of the elements we discussed about layout and incorporated it into his web page. Fantastic job. And let's just randomly pick on Northern. We don't have a whole lot of time here. Once again, I'm seeing multiple categories here, not just the basic two, and it's very nice. And it's also kind of nice to see I made a little different layout for each one. I thought that was kind of neat. And then we go down to the Panhandle or Southeast, and he obviously, as he goes left from right working, it tends to drop off. But once again, everything is relevant to the region. So an excellent job there. So okay, back to our rubric. Let's take a look. Let's see if he, for Alaska regions, and really this is the only one I'm covering for this assignment, but I put these in because in next year these are going to play a big part too. But student uses detailed descriptions and graphic organizers to accurately describe and compare different regions of Alaska, including the climates, landforms, and natural resources. So the graphic organizers, I think in retrospect, I probably would have added a little bit more instruction on this. Um, Now, the whole website's a graphic organizer. Really, it's a big giant tree map. Okay, here's my tree map, right? I've got my big title here, and then I have interior, south central, northern, western, southeast. All of these are my categories, and then underneath are my subcategories. Okay, so really to accurately describe uh, a product that exceeds grade level expectations, rather than use graphic organizers right here, I should probably be talking about multimedia. How are they incorporating audio, video, some more uh, creative means to showing those photos, like using the app Sketch. So I think that would be more accurate, and I'm going to fix that. Promise. Okay, and here is a website that I think um, does a pretty good job of displaying one that meets grade level expectations, or eventually would if there was more time to do the lesson. And there is, but for this period, I've got to kind of stop and go, let me see what you got. So his Alaska page here is very nice, although the formatting is a little sporadic still. Information's there, not quite ready for publishing, because I would probably want to fix some of the grammatical errors. There are means to do that, especially within groups, just like we would a writer's workshop. And okay, let's take a look at Interior Alaska. Let's see how he's doing on his pages here. All right. Great. I love right away, at least I'm getting a visual of what the Interior Alaska looks like. Excellent. And he's also made a show me. To be honest, I've never done a video within a video, so let me just click the button and see what happens.
The interior region is just what it's called, the middle or inside of Alaska. It is the side of the head where the ear would be on. The Alaska mammoth pictured in your mind. Canada is in the head to the east. The west is the western region along the Bering Sea coast. The Brooks Range separates the interior from the far north. The jagged Alaska Range marks the southern edge of the region. In between the mountain ranges lie more than 300 miles of wide valleys, lowlands, and plateaus. This is the interior.
Hey, you catch that? He called it Platius. So he's obviously reading it from the textbook, which, it's that's fine. I read a script as well when I'm making videos. So that was kind of cool. I like this too because name's hidden. If they're under 14 years old and they're using Show Me, automatically this is anonymous. But what I do is they take it, put it on a Google Drive, and that way they could utilize it for a lot of things. Their Google Drive they can open up on desktop, or their iPad, which is incredibly useful. And so, what a wonderful amount of information. Granted, it's all text, but some students like to write, so that's their choice. So he rather than just take pictures or whatnot, or talk about it, he wrote it down. Good for him. Okay, and down here I have land features and people, but nothing really quite under land features. He doesn't have these quite organized yet, but the information is here. I even see a little bit of history. Fairbanks got his name from someone called Fairbanks, and Harding did it because he did something good. So we've got to start here, but we're not as accurate as we should. And one thing I try to get across to the students when I use technology is we don't just use it to use it. We have to use it to make very high standard stuff here. This is, we want things we can publish. So we discuss what publishing means. Okay, and this was his South Central Alaska page that he is currently working on and is going to fix. He has got a wonderful picture here of some South Central area. And he wants to talk about the oil spill, which is great. Okay, but we do want to talk about the people and geographical features. Those are the main things we have to have. But this is gravy. This is good stuff. But I want to really reflect on this picture because I don't think I laughed harder the whole year. I read this and I have to say that I was in stitches. Um, so obviously you can read that. And you know, we discussed accuracy. I but I can't tell you the type of sense of humor this kid has. It's absolutely brilliant. Um, yeah, he's gonna fix that. But still, I'm not seeing all the information. So some pages have it, some don't. Once again, is that they just simply don't want to do it or they don't have time? With more time, I believe that he would be successful with a little bit more accuracy. Okay, actually, I've been going through some of these websites, and this is another student of mine that I think is actually a more accurate description or an artifact for something that meets grade level expectations, but doesn't quite, hit on the bonus material like climate and history and stuff. But okay, so right here, what I love about this is every single page has is is formatted somewhat similar. Um, I probably wouldn't have picked yellow. Probably would have picked a more solid color. But as you can see, as I click through here, as I click the interior, sometimes I got to double click it twice, especially when recording. By the way, I didn't know we have. I might want to check on this because that might just be a picture that nothing to do with Alaska. But, anyways, sorry. Geographic features, people on interior, weather. Oh, that's a bonus. And then geographic features, people. Nice. All right, good. But still, I'm not looking at a lot of multimedia. I'm just saying, your generic picture with some discussion about it. Oh, wait, what's this? Huh. Oh, well, that's absolutely fascinating. So, March 24th, 1989, a massive oil spill happened. Well, that's okay. That's cool. So she designed her own picture with a caption. So, oh, that was good. And so, as we can see, sorry, okay. Anyway, so we can see that this was an excellent example of just hitting those two categories, two subcategories for every page. Okay, this is an example of a website that needs improvement. This is, and I'm not showing you the menu because the student's name is up there, and just for convenience, I'm just kind of cutting that off for now. But this is the main site for Alaska, so he does have some facts in here, and just some random pictures of some puppies that he likes. Alaskan steamboats are used for transporting gold and people to towns and villages. That's good. I probably would have incorporated this one though in the interior one, and then more pictures of dogs. Okay, so this is his interior page, and he has a very publishable um, fact here. People in Alaska in the interior region is 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and there is the Yukon River. This student in particular has a difficult time writing. So this is somewhere where I would like him to incorporate more audio. And we have discussed making podcasts and using Audacity and GarageBand, whichever they feel more comfortable with, to do that. And there's a means to add an audio file too. So he has that opportunity. He um, he might feel more comfortable using that. Okay, so this is his South Central page, and it's a very good example of all of his pages. Pretty much just one fact. He doesn't have any subcategories such as people and geographical features. Like with a title and with some facts and pictures underneath it. He did make a sketch showing the oil spill in South Central. So that's definitely something that I've asked him to do, but still not quite following the objectives of having those two subcategories to discuss and the two facts for each subcategory. So that's it. Those are my three um, artifacts. I've gone 14 minutes. My attention span's even losing myself at this moment. So this is part two. I have one more part after this. So I know it's long. Thank you for staying with me, and Yeah, go part 3. Okay, I want to touch on a little bit of reflection um, for the next video. So I forgot to explain what part 3 is going to be all about. So that's coming up next.